Beatles with us, boys and ghouls. So on this second channel, I've done a few different types of videos, a few different styles, and I've heavily scripted them just to try something different to what I do on my main channel, because on my main channel, I react to things, mostly the paranormal. And when I started this second channel, I wanted to look more into the sort of the seedy underworld of streaming and content creation and the like. And so far I've been looking at sort of historical things, or things that are sort of winding down to the end point, people that are already going to court, being arrested. But this next one has been happening in real time this week, and I've just been sat there pretty much like this. So we'll call this app The Internet Does a Thing, and we'll pretend to be surprised. And this is of course brought to you by them fine folk over at Twitch.tv. I do actually stream over on Twitch. I just stream gaming. I don't get involved in the political stuff, but I do watch some of the political streamers on occasion, because a lot of them is just car crash TV. And this involves one of the more prominent political streamers over on Twitch. This prominent streamer read a chat message and thought they warranted a full-scale tactical response. This tactical response was with a formidable weapon, known to many as a humble plastic projectile dispenser. So this fine gentleman here is Hasan, and this gentleman here is who Hasan doxed live on Twitch, because he read a comment thinking it was from this guy saying Hasan should be hung for treason. Okay, that's pretty bad when somebody in your chat says you need to be hung for treason, but Hasan gets the wrong guy. Completely the wrong guy. Doxes him, finds him online, lets his hundreds and thousands of followers know who this guy is. Hasn't apologized since, by the way.
First thing we want to do is download the U2DPN app, which we can do through the first link in the description.
He says, let's hang Hasan and Mamdani for treason, he says. The fuck are you gonna do?
That's right. He blamed the wrong guy, doxed him, and then starts waving a gun about. Now, full disclosure, Hasan has apparently since said that it is a airsoft gun, a BB gun. But what does that change for anyone on any streaming service? You can't just go brandishing a replica weapon about. You can't just go brandishing an airsoft or even a toy gun about in a threatening manner and then say, that was only a toy. You can't go into a bank, withdraw a cap gun, point it at somebody and say, give me all of your money, this is a robbery. And then when the police turn up, say, it's only a toy gun, I couldn't actually have fired it if I wanted to. You've wasted your time, go home. You're still going to end up in a cell for the evening. You may end up in prison. You may well end up getting shot. I mean, Hasan's in America. You've only got to pull your wallet out too fast over there and risk getting one between the eyes. Calm the fuck down. A lot of the guys on my main channel know that I left Twitch some time ago and then went back a few times. And I left over the hot tub meta because I was just like, it's a bit too seedy. I don't like it. Then I left when they basically took good things from small creators, and now I'm back over there. I'm not putting like all effort into Twitch. It's just being fed off my YouTube so people can trigger sound alerts, to be honest, because people like to jump scare me. I have no loyalty to Twitch anymore. There's no discoverability or anything, but if anything is going to make me want to walk away from that platform for a third time, is this. Now, I discovered a channel called Tectone recently, and Tectone has been banned from Twitch numerous times in the past few weeks for some rather silly things that I have seen other people do and do worse. And what this entire thing is highlighting to me is there's a huge problem with Twitch where there seems to be a tier list of who can get away with what. For example, Tectone called somebody a fat bitch. Rude, maybe, but if you saw what she had said to him prior, or about him prior, where she lied and called him a S-ear, you can kind of see why he blew up, and he was banned for that. Yet Hasan, whilst waving his toy, fake firearm about, calls the guy a skinny bitch. He's like, what are you going to do, you skinny bitch? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he's waving this toy about. So where's the ban? Where is Twitch's moderation team to say you cannot wave firearms or fake firearms about on a live stream in response to something that you don't like in your comment section, and you can't dox people? And since we banned Tectone for calling somebody a fat bitch, we're going to have to ban you for calling somebody a skinny bitch. It just seems there was some girl quite some time ago, I'm fully aware of, getting full-on porked on the Twitch stream, live, taking the D. And I think she got banned for a week. There are other people who have been banned for life for far less than that. It seems to be that if you're in certain circles on Twitch... So Hasan has these 3 followers, and they're called his Orbit. And they are Denims, Casey Ron, or Casey Tron, and Frogan. Frogan is the lovely lady that he's called, a fat bitch. Casey Tron's is the one that's constantly baked, and then you've got this other one, Denims. I think I got that the right way. I don't really care, because whilst they don't look anything alike, they're all sort of these air-brained morons that are just spouting the shite of Hasan, thinking that they're going to become millionaires off his work, which... I mean, whatever. But then, whilst all this is going on, something else has happened, where a content creator called Ethan Klein has basically said that the Orbiters, he's now suing. I'm not going to get into all of it, but basically, he put out a video about Hasan, knowing these 3 would react, speaking negative connotations, and know that they would break TOS, namely in regard to copyright. For example... They put on his video, and you can react, rightfully so, on YouTube and Twitch. You can react. Reaction doesn't mean that you rip a bong for, like, what was it, 14 minutes something, but you only actually discuss for 13 minutes. In other words, she spent more time with the video playing and her ripping bongs than actually doing any reacting. Now, I do a lot of reaction-style content on my main channel, where I will look at paranormal videos and then I will break them down. And I turn, 20 minutes of footage into 30, 40, up to an hour episodes, because I break down and I analyse and try to educate and offer a different opinion. But these guys just don't help themselves. They're like, yeah, if you find the link to the original video in this Reddit thread so you don't have to watch his, thank you for supporting me and not supporting him. And when you do things like that, what you're then doing is basically taking money out of their pockets via the way these guys are going at it, potentially slander and defamation, because they're not exactly being very honest by all accounts. XQC has jumped on it, Asmongold has jumped on it. Now, people can have their opinions on these guys, fair enough. I agree with some things they say, I disagree with other things they say. In fact, I don't think there is a single content creator out there where I agree with every single word they say. And if I did, I'd probably be bored quite quickly, you know? But then I guess even more bizarre and even worse for especially the 3 Orbiters, because Legal Mindset has got involved. And Legal Mindset is a lawyer, basically. I believe he's on Rumble, and he basically goes through the copyright and how these Orbiters are literally breaking the copyright law. So Ethan does have a grounds to sue with, and then Hasan has piped back up, and he's like, hey, he's just a right-wing freak. He's a Rumble lawyer. He's not even a real lawyer. When, to all intents and purposes, the guy is a real lawyer, which means, kind of slandering him or defaming him. Oh, dear. It's all a mess, and it's kind of an entertaining mess because I can't stop watching it, but it does highlight a bigger problem with Twitch. And the problem is, Dan Clancy, who's like the face of Twitch, seems to allow Hasan and anyone associated with Hasan certain freedoms. They're allowed to get away with a lot more than what other people do. It's a well-known fact now that Hasan was once banned for something on a Sunday, only received a 24-hour ban. The problem is Hasan takes a Sunday off. So the 24 hours that he was banned for were 24 hours that he wouldn't have streamed for anyway. So it made zero impact to him. And then other people who have done the same or less have experienced 7-day bans, 1-month bans. It's absolutely insane. And the fact that he can brandish a toy firearm while saying, what are you going to do, you skinny bitch? What are you going to do? And not get banned, while Tectone got banned for calling somebody a fat bitch, just highlights these double standards. It's like, ban the 2 of them for the same amount of time. You can't ban Tectone, and then when he complains, unban him, but take forever to doing it, and then completely ignore Hasan has done the exact same thing, but called somebody a skinny bitch instead of a fat bitch, but he was waving a firearm, whether it's a toy or not. The fact is, he was threatening somebody with what looked to be a firearm. And Twitch are just like, yeah, it's Hasan. He's our golden goose. He can do what he likes. So what happens when somebody else does the same thing? They read a comment from their chat and they're like, I don't like that. I'm going to... See where I'm going with this? I've also seen that people are saying, hey, Penguin Zero did the same thing and you like Penguin Zero, blah, blah, blah. I do like Moist Critical Penguin Zero. But there was a different bit. There was more of an escalation in that episode because a guy did the same thing. He threatened Penguin Zero and he's cocking a gun and he's talking about magazines. So then Penguin in response was like, no, it's not a magazine. This is a clip. Cocks the gun, puts it down, and then he picks up some form of assault rifle and he was like, this is a magazine. It wasn't a threat, but it was an escalation on a threat with a firearm. So is it right? Is it needed? Is it warranted? Not really. Nobody should be waving a firearm about in a threatening manner on stream, whether the firearms are real or not. But still, there was a massive difference there. One guy was threatened, so he brandishes his own, but without a threat, and just educates, while obviously giving that nod, like, I've got an assault rifle, come at me, bro. It's not something I'd personally do, but, you know, if you're going to threaten someone with a gun, in America, they've probably got a bigger gun. But that's not what Hasan did. Hasan looked at this guy, and when you skinny bitch starts waving this toy gun around, pretending it's a real gun. You know, it was only after the fact that people realised it wasn't a real gun. Starts waving it about like, yeah, skinny bitch, what are you going to do? Skinny bitch? What are you going to do, skinny bitch? And it was the wrong guy. He was threatening the wrong person with a toy gun. So legal mindsets got involved, tech tones involved. It is absolute insanity on Twitch and YouTube now, because they're all obviously turning these streams into shorter videos. They're all uploading. Everyone's jumping on. And I'm like, since I've started covering the bad guys at Twitch, technically this does fall within my wheelhouse. And while I'm amused to a degree, at the same point, I'm like, Hasan, why are you waving a gun? Toy blaster or not? And, you know, was it really a toy gun? That's kind of the defense after the fact that it was a toy gun. It didn't look like a toy gun. A lot of airsoft guns have orange tips on them. Toy guns have coloured bright bits on them to distinguish them from the real thing. Not all, but most do. So while his defense was naturally, it's a toy gun, and, you know, was it? Probably? I don't know. But we live in a world where it's getting more and more difficult to be able to distinguish between reality and satire. I'm forever in trouble on my main channel for satirical comments, because, you know, some people are a bit stupid. But in this case, it's a very important distinction. Was it satire, or was he threatening someone? Was it an appropriate response? Somebody said something mean to me online. Lock and load, baby! And the important question is, will Twitch do anything to Hasan for this? Because terms of service are as clear as mud in a blender. One day you're banned for saying the wrong word or calling somebody a fat bitch, but the next day somebody's brandishing a firearm. Plastic firearm. Potentially. Maybe. I'm so in for this magical mystery tour that is Twitch moderation. I mean, YouTube, the guidelines are very clear and concise. Don't threaten anyone. At all. With anything. Just no. Because they'll ban you. I mean, what should he have done? Should he have just ignored it instead of pulling out a prop? Why is he trying to engage in some sort of digital Western standoff with a viewer that is not the right viewer, that's probably not even watching him at that point? Maybe he could have just ignored it because the internet's full, absolutely full of people who probably just need a nice warm glass of milk on an early night in bed in nap time. Just a thought. And what about the poor guy that did nothing wrong, that got his name brought up, his face brought up, and a plastic sidearm waved about at his face? He's probably sat on the internet like, funny cat video, boobies. What the fuck? Mum, I'm gonna get shot. And where's the apology to that guy? I still haven't seen it. Maybe it's come out and I've missed it. Everyone's just concentrating on, you know, the firearms and the circle of friends and the legal team, the legal streamers that are stepping in. But where's the apology? The guy deserves one, like, publicly, because he may still well be getting hate for something that he 100% didn't do. So, what is the takeaway from all of this? Is it that the internet is some wild, untamed frontier where toy guns are an equalizer? Is it that Twitch's algorithm is constantly just scratching his head like, I got no idea what's going on, I don't know what to do? Or is it a simple reminder that sometimes when somebody comes in being that nasty, you can just ban them? It's easy, it's one click. But who am I? You know, I don't have millions of subscribers and wave guns about because I'm not an asshole. Who knows? But what I do know is this. If somebody comes into my comment section and says they're going to try and hang me, I'll probably do this. Piss off, weirdo. Piss off. It's my piss off ghost spray from the main channel. It's a sarcastic, humorless time over there. You'd love it. Or maybe I'd pull out one of those bubble machines and see how they like it. Pop, 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 pop. So that's it for this week's episode of Idiots on the Internet. And this episode was whatever it was. If you enjoyed this little dissection into modern internet culture, consider hitting the like and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below if you think a toy gun is the pinnacle of self-defense in this modern digital age. Much love to you all, and please, 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 pretty please, stay safe, and for the love of God, learn to distinguish between real weapons and plastic counterparts. Much love to you all. Beardo out.